Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. I've got all of your favorite mold out today. It is my little tiny mantle clock. And I got an order for one, or I wouldn't be doing this today, but I want to make sure the order's filled by Mother's Day because a viewer named Donna has ordered this for her mom, and she wanted either red or blue flowers, kind of like the spring one that I did, except I'm going to change it up a little bit and learn from my mistakes in the other one. So I chose blue only because I thought I had red and I didn't have red, so it's blue. But it doesn't hurt my feelings any because blue's my favorite color. So I'm going to do this kind of like I did that one in layers. So this holds about 10 ounces of resin. I mixed up 3 for the first layer. I'll mix up 3 for the second layer, and then we're going to do a back coat. Now in the spring one, which I will link at the end of this video if you want to see that one, I did in pinks. And I kind of went in these grooves with some pink UV resin. I went on here with some silver mica powder, which came out pretty. Nothing wrong with it, but because of the things that I added into it, you couldn't see from behind these parts. So I'm not going to do any of those parts today because I want to add in, I made these for you guys last year, probably a year ago, showed you how to color your own mirror chips, and I've had these ever since. And since they go with the flowers, I'm going to put them at the bottom today. And then I'm going to use some of the moss. Now I did put this in the other one, but because, like I said, this silver mica powder was right where all the moss was, you could barely see any moss and some greenery at the bottom. And I'm going to put in a little bit of my crushed crystal into each layer, just a very, very tiny bit. And I've already mixed my resin, as you saw. I've got all the bubbles out. I'm just going to put in the tiniest bit of sparkle dust in here, and we're going to get started because this thing needs 3 layers. So if you can see, it's like barely anything, but between the 3 layers, it'll be beautiful. I'm just going to try not to incorporate bubbles stirring this in, but you do have to stir this stuff pretty good to get it to spread. Now, if I was smart, I would have stirred this in before I put it through the vacuum chamber, but that's okay. I don't see many bubbles. And this is going to be a thin layer, so the bubbles will surface, and I will make sure I pop them. Then before I place the flowers today, I'm going to let it thicken up. So I will be pouring right now. I'll probably place my little, I want to spray alcohol in here. Help alleviate any bubbles in all those cracks. Like in all these. It's going to get alcohol everywhere. And then pour my resin. And once this is really nice and thick, and my flowers won't be moving, because I really don't want to sit here and be pushing flowers into place for the next hour. So I'm going to let this thicken up for a while. This is my epoxy resin. This is not my fast cure, so I'm going to help it along with my brand new glass heat mat that I have underneath here today. And see how long, I'm going to check it every 10 minutes just because I don't know this heat mat yet, and I don't really know a lot about this epoxy I just started using. So it does take a while to cure, so it's not a fast cure epoxy. So this could take probably up to an hour to get tacky enough, I'm thinking. Spray it with alcohol, and I think I will. I already see the beautiful sparkle in there. I'm going to just set some of these in the bottom because I want some in each layer. Because you will see, you'll see it from the back and you'll see it from the side. I'm just going to put it like along the bottom, kind of like a base. And it's heavy. It'll sink right to the bottom. And I'm going to get them in place. Of course, I had to put that in the resin, and now everything's going to stick to it. I'm just going to kind of push it right along this bottom edge. Let it sink there. Grab a paper towel. And a little pencil thingy. I'm just going to move it into place. It'll stay where I put it. And I think for the back final coat, I'm going to use barely a hint of blue alcohol ink. Barely. Like a drop, maybe 2 drops in 4 ounces of resin. All right, I think that's good. Now I'm just going to let it sit here. I'm going to turn this on and start babysitting it. Whoops. Okay, I will let you know how long it takes. It's been 45 minutes. My heat mat was on medium and the stringiness is really good. It's about 1 inch when you pull it up with a little tool. So I don't think any of my flowers are going to go anywhere. So I think I'm going to put some of this moss down here at the bottom on the first layer, just because it's pretty 3D. It's pretty thick. I just pulled it into pieces while I was waiting. Oh, the perfect amount. Look at that. Yeah, it's definitely thick resin. It ain't going nowhere. All right, so I'm not going to use the greenery until the next layer. I am going to use the flowers, obviously. Let me just try to... The static on them is pretty bad. They're sticking to the plastic sheet on the top. So I'm going to try to open these without losing them. Well, I guess half are going there and half are coming here. I guess it doesn't matter, right? Okay. That I want in the back. I think on the last clock, I pretty much used all my flowers. I'm hoping it's not too tacky where I'm going to get bubbles. I'm putting them upside down because this is the back of our clock. So make sure you know which side you're working. If you're working on like a coaster and you're looking up, you would want them the right side up. You can dip these in resin if you want to first. I just don't have any mixed up to do that. This is almost too thick. I am going to put some white ones in here just to break it up a little bit. And I'm going to leave some spaces, and those spaces is when I will do the next layer behind, so it'll look a little bit 3D. And this is going to continue to cure. I'm going to turn it back on, but it's still warm. All right, so yeah, it's really, really thick. Let me put some of these little tiny ones. I'm going to put them in this edge. And do I have any more? How did I get resin on everything already? I barely touched anything. I get these little teeny tiny ones over here. And this tiny one. Let me see if I have any more little ones. One more. All right, so that is all I'm going to do for right now. I will turn the heat mat on one more time for the night so I can get my second layer poured today. Those are not going anywhere. I do want to kind of move them, fill in this little gap I have down there. There we go. All right, be back in probably another hour. So in like a matter of 15 minutes, when this thing's going to cure, it cures fast. So you have to be quick. So after I put the flowers down, 15 minutes, it's solid. It's ready for the next layer. So I have mixed up, this is my 4-hour fast cure because it's getting later in the evening as I wait. And I already mixed in my crushed crystal and I ran it through the vacuum chamber to get all the bubbles out for like 5 minutes. So I'm just going to pour this layer and I'm going to see how much these flowers are going to move before I wait to place them. Get it all over here. I mean, if they're going to move a bunch, then I will wait. But if not, I'm going to go ahead and place them because this is a thicker resin than the first one. And if I can get this done in one evening, that would be amazing. I did not expect to do that. That's why I switched over to this resin. I'm just going to spray it with some alcohol. There's a couple bubbles from scraping my cup. I still have the heat mat on. That's good. So first of all, I'm going to put some more rock in. Not rock. It's crushed mirror. Sorry. Just to get it up to the second level. I don't know if I'm going to do it on the third layer or not. I haven't decided. But I do want it here, just so when you look through the side, it has a little bit of substance to it. Oh, they're sticking in the flower. I may do the third layer. I don't see why not. I have enough of them, and these have been sitting here, like I said, since I colored them. All right. Let me place one flower and see what happens after I spray it again. Flowers are going to come up from the ones you've already laid down. So that's another thing you're going to want to keep an eye out for. So I'm just going to see that, yeah, it's a little watery, but I kind of like it watery a little bit because, like I said, I don't know if those ones have bubbles in front of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep placing, I think. These things, they may move. I don't know. And on this layer, I will be putting some greenery behind them. Where don't I have white? Right here. I'm just kind of going in the empty spots that you're seeing. They're staying in place. Plus, like I said, the heat mat is on. This is going to heat up quickly. So it might not take too long. I like these little tiny things. I don't know, are they baby's breath? I'm just gonna break off the stems. Oops, don't want it down there or I'm not gonna see ya. Oops, they're falling in. Come here. stick that behind the flower so you don't see the stem. And that one too. This one has to move. Come on, get off. Have a paper towel handy so you can wipe your tweezers. And let's see, what do I have left here? Some more baby's breath. Where do I want it? Well, I don't want to take up the whole thing with baby's breath though. I'll put it right there. There's some little ones on this sheet that I have not used. Is that the wrong side? Oh, I don't think it matters on this one. They both look the same. How about one of these? I like these things. I don't know what any of them are called, but I like these little things. You're probably not even going to see that. So I'm going to move it up. And I might have one more white go right here behind it. Trying to think about these greens. Do I want them on now or the next layer is the question. Let's do them now. They might actually hold some things in place while we're waiting. Do I go higher? Might look okay. That's good. I think that's good. I'm not going to put anything else in there. And it's not moving. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave it till it cures, and then we'll pour the last 4 ounces with a little bit of blue in there. It has literally been 30 minutes, you guys. 30 minutes, and it's pretty hard. Like, nothing's going to move. So I mixed up back to my epoxy resin. It's not the 4-hour fast cure. And I'm going to drop in blue, like just a couple drops. Let me do it here. I turn the heat mat off. Let's do 2 drops and see what happens. I don't want this clock like blue in your face. I just want a hint in the background. And then I'm going to put a little bit of the crushed crystal in again. And then I'm going to run this through my vacuum chamber. Actually, I probably don't even need to. You're not going to see any bubbles. Well, I just stirred up a lot of bubbles. So this is the color of it now. Let me see what we got going on. Oh, it's really clear still. I'm going to do 2 more drops. I just don't want to go overboard because I don't really want it to be blue in your face. I think no matter what it looks like on a paper towel, this is all I'm going to do. All right, and because I mixed in so many, well, it still looks clear. Oh my goodness, look at that, it's clear. Well, I'm leaving it like that. I don't want to do anything to it. So I'm going to put my little sparkle dust in, again, the smallest amount. Nothing major. And I think I will run it through the vacuum chamber. It's not going to hurt anything. And especially because it's an order. I want it to be right. I want it to be perfect. Well, nothing's perfect, but I don't want to be disappointed for cutting corners. So let me run this through there, and then we'll come back and pour. All right, that's it. Ready to pour. Yeah, it's very, very subtle, which is good. I see a tint of it. I just didn't want it in your face blue. So the first layer was 3 ounces, the second layer was 3 ounces, and this layer was 4 ounces. So 10 ounces total. Then once it's demolded, we'll see. I'm gonna cut out a little decal that she wanted. I'm not sure if I can get it on. It's really, really small area, but I will try. So I'm gonna get this cured. And yeah, the fun part is next. Forgot I wanted to put the rest of these little glass shards in just to come to the back. I'm going to just pour them in. So that way it'll be uniform. And when you look at it from the side, you won't see like a skinny little layer of glass shards. Because I had resin on my spoon, there's resin on these. But I used them all. That's awesome. I used every one of them. Let me try to get these out of the greenery. There we go. There's only a few left in here. Well, that's cool. I used all of them. If you don't know how to color your own glass, then go back in my channel pretty far back and you will learn how to do that. And it doesn't even tint your resin when you're working with it. All right, that's it. Curing time. Okay, it's the next day. It's time to unmold. Let's see what we got going on. Everything is so sparkly in the back. Pretty happy with the back. I'm hoping I haven't used this mold too much that it's not shining. I might have to order me another one if it's in stock. Let's see. Are we ready? It's not bendy at all, so that's good. Oh, it looks good. I'm so glad I didn't color all the lines in. So you could see all this, the bottom mirror pieces. You could see the greenery. You can't see a lot of greenery behind, but you could see that it's there. I mean, if you look at the back, it's there. Here's the layers. So they do look three-dimensional. And if they wanted to, they can also, use a paint pen. I'm pretty sure they're crafty. But that looks pretty good. So I expected that to work okay. So I already printed Happy Mother's Day, and we're gonna put that right here. So let me see if I can zoom in for you. I'm gonna have to move you guys. Sorry, you're blocking the view. Now you gotta be careful when you're doing small fonts. Like this is a very tiny spot, so you can't put a lot of words, and you have to pick a font that you can actually weed, because they can be a nightmare sometimes. You could also reverse weed, but that looks pretty center. And then we'll get a clock face out. I'm pretty sure that silver clock face would be the best for this one. Oh, look, Happy Mother's Day. What do you think? Oh, you can see the clock nice and close up now. Can you tell in the video that it's three-dimensional? You can from the side. You can see the sparkle dust. Here's the greens and the mirror chips. Let's get a clock face out. Okay, so I got a silver one because I think silver will look the best with this one. So it comes with clips, and I have now finally learned where the clips go. So let me show you if you're new to these clocks and you couldn't figure it out like I couldn't figure it out until one of you amazing viewers told me what to do with them. So there's, oh, they gave me 4, but you only need 3. Okay, so this little piece with that little like triangular on it, this one here, and there's one behind this cover. You put them in there and you just shove them down and they stay in place. They can't fall out. It's very tight. It was made for them. When I first got these, I was like trying to put them over here and like I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know what I was doing, and of course there's no instructions. So we just push these down, open up the battery compartment if I can. I might need to go get a screwdriver. Oh, there it goes. And then there's one right there in the battery compartment. Why they hide it from you, I do not know. Put this back in. And then all you do, make sure your 12 is up. Just press it into place, and then it won't fall out. There we go. And I'll do that again because she wanted to purchase this one from me as well. This was my spring one that I did. So I figured I will do it for you. Okay. And I always keep these extra clips up here in my little stash just in case I lose one or one comes with less than 3. Opening the bag is always a challenge. And I'm going to put, I was going to put gold on it, but I can't put gold on it. It's got a silver trim, so I need to put a silver one on it. That would look strange, so they come in a package of 6 from Amazon if you need to reorder them. Move this out of the way. See, this one only came with 3. And I did purchase these one time, and 2 of them came broken, so I was pretty upset about that. And by the time I figured it out, my window for returning was past. So yeah, somebody did mention to resin a clock face, but I don't know if I could do that. All right, let me put this back on. So Donna, your 2 clocks are ready to go. There we go. And here they are. One for you and one for your mom. So that's the difference. See, on this one, I had put the greens behind this silver trim that I was talking about. So you couldn't really see it. And then I did put trim here and here. And then this up here, block the flowers that were going up there. So that's why I changed this one to just clear on the whole thing. And then if they decide that they want to take a paint pen, then they can do whatever they would like. All right, you guys, I will get pictures of this one. You can go back and see the other one if you want. I will post the link to the video right at the end of this video. Thanks for coming in, guys. I hope you all have a blessed day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.